Dreadlock beads, dreadlock decorations. I'm going to talk about those. For some people that is the whole point of having dreadlocks. Getting to make your hair look all colourful and putting stuff in them. You can make your own beads, you can put random things in there. I'm not a very good poster child for that because you can see that I have nothing in my dreadlocks at the moment. But I have had stuff in the past. So I am going to talk about dreadlock beads. Mainly dreadlock beads. It's be relevant information for other decorations, but I'm mainly going to talk about beads. I don't know why I pulled a strange face when I say beads. Crazy beads eyes. The main thing I'm going to talk about is trying to resist the temptation to put a lot of beads in your dreadlocks when they are brand new. When dreadlocks are new, they're really soft, they're not tough. I mean, mine are reasonably old now, they're mature dreadlocks, so they're like rope. But young dreadlocks are really soft, and for a start it's really annoying to try and keep beads in your dreadlocks because they're soft, and so with tough dreadlocks you can really squeeze a bead or a ring on there and it will stay put. With soft dreadlocks it's likely to fall out, so that's the main annoying point with trying to put beads in young dreadlocks. But I'm also a believer that young dreadlocks should be sort of left to do their own thing as much as possible. And if you put beads in dreadlocks, you can sort of compact the hair underneath the bead, and it makes it a bit uneven. And you can get loose hair locking over the top of the bead. But mainly the problems I've seen with people trying to put beads in young dreadlocks is that they won't stay in, and so they'll sew them in, or I've seen someone glue beads in to new dreadlocks just to hold them into the new dreads because they're upset that their beads won't stay in. So obviously you can put whatever you want in your own hair, but just be, if you don't have dreadlocks and you're planning on getting dreadlocks, just be aware that they are going to be soft and not so useful for holding stuff into them when they're brand new. Okay, general beads information. You can get beads made out of anything. You can get beads made out of glass. I had glass beads. I had a few glass beads. I like glass beads. But you can get them made out of metal. You can put rings in your hair. You can get wooden beads. I'm sure that people are going to comment and be like, you've missed out beads made out of this, made out of that. But basically, beads can be made out of anything. That's my coverall. And you can obviously get beads in different shapes and sizes for fitting different dreadlocks. What I'm going to recommend if you're going to put beads in your hair, some people aren't going to follow this, but it's from my own personal experience, that I would recommend to take them out when you're washing your hair. So if you're washing your hair, I would really recommend taking the beads out. This can be really annoying if you have a lot of beads, but I'll talk about why it's best to take them out. When you are washing the hair, then the water and soap are rinsing through. If you have a bead there, what can happen is that the soapy water that would otherwise rinse through the dreadlock and out of the dreadlock, and when you squeeze the dreadlock like a sponge, it will come out. But you can get soap getting stuck behind the bead because you can't squeeze it or wring it out or properly rinse it out from there. And so you get build-up behind the bead and it can get gross and sticky and disgusting. So when you're washing dreadlocks, I would recommend to take them out. And the main reason I would recommend to take beads out when you're washing your hair is if you've seen my drying video. If you haven't seen my drying video, you can click here. And you can click there and there'll be a link for the drying video. I do a lot of wringing out and shaking. You can't do this if you have beads in your hair. So when you shake, the beads will hit you in the face, or in my case, when I had lots of glass beads, they will hit the walls and break. And you can't squeeze because the beads are in there. And so they can stay damp behind the beads, and then you don't want anything staying damp for too long because then it gets all gross and nasty. Like anything that you'll leave damp and warm constantly. So damp, soap residue, getting hit in the face with beads, balance it out. Also, if you're taking the beads out regularly, and you can take them out and put them in as often as you want, you can change up your style, and also gives the hair underneath to sort of time to puff out and not get too compressed. And then there's just one more thing that I want to add that someone told me about and said I should add to this video, is a warning about wooden beads. So while I've been hit in the face with glass beads, someone else has had a problem with wooden beads, and that is, and again this problem will get made worse if you go in the shower with them, but if you buy wooden beads that you then let get damp and stay in your hair, they had the beads actually rot. You know, the bead soaked up water and went soft and nasty. And also similarly, if it's a bead that is either not specifically designed to be worn day in day out on dreadlocks, or a cheap bead, then the paint on the bead can rub off into the dreadlock, so if it gets wet, then it's going to, sometimes wooden beads can soak up water, get soft and become disgusting, and also the paint can rub off and stain your hair, or the dye in the wood can stain the dreadlock. Obviously there are loads of wooden beads that are awesome and don't do that, but just a word of warning. And again, most of these problems can be avoided by taking the beads out when you wash your hair and not letting them get soaked and stuff. If there's anything I've missed regarding beads that you would like to add, or if you have another question regarding beads, or if you have another question not regarding beads, you can just leave all the questions and things in the comments, and I will answer your question straight away. And if it's a really good question, so if it's an awesome question, or just a good question, I will make another video. Like this was a question that was asked me, and now I've made a video, and your question, I can make a video for that too. Bye!